I apologize for posting this so late, but hey, I don't have enough time. Anyway, let's start by creating the constructor for the vehicle superclass, right? It's called an abstract superclass because it's a must inherit class. So you must inherit the class in order to use it, right? Otherwise it's gonna error out. Anyway, let's create the constructor. Okay, so it is always public sub new. Actually, it's gonna be protected sub new. Why? Because you only want this constructor to be accessible within the subclass and the parent class, right? Why? Because you don't want random goofy freaky dudes to access the superclass data, obviously, because it's must inherit. That's weird. So it's gonna be by-val make blah 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 blah, right? Yeah, it's just weird stuff. But yeah, just copy everything here and put it in. Yep, and we're gonna obviously have make equals to make model equal. Oh, what the hell? And then do that a bunch of times, and you'll eventually just get better. Now this is actually really important types specific info here. I'll show you later though. Okay, now we're gonna use the factory method. Okay, what is the factory method, you might be asking? The factory method is just a fancy way of creating an object, assigning variables one by one, like vehicle.make equals to make, vehicle.model equals to model. You can create that just by doing this, and yeah, and obviously blah 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 blah, right? Just doing that, which saves a lot of time. To create an object, you'll name it create, but you can make a noob anyway. You can make a noob as well, right? So in here, we're gonna have a by-val vehicle type string. Why do we need a vehicle type string, you might be asking? Good question. I didn't understand it first, but when you input the vehicle type, right, it's gonna be a string, so you have to convert that back to a vehicle type enum variable. So the computer understands it. So we have to try parse it and validate a bunch of stuff, which worths a lot of mark in your actual SAC, by the way. Anyway, so this is going to return a vehicle. We're going to dim, right? Vehicle type as vehicle type enum, right? So now we are going to try parse it, which I typed really fast, by the way. That was like, I have like 300 words per minute. That's why I typed so fast. I didn't copy it, don't worry. Anyway, so it's going to be just try parsing it. It's, yeah, try parse, and then it's gonna try parse this and put it into, I don't know why this is true. I don't understand it. I don't think you need this anyway. I can delete this, and then it's gonna be that, but I'm keeping it in. And if it's not inside, so if it's not inside any of these options, so it's like saying it's a Tesla, right, or car, it's not an option. It's gonna return invalid vehicle. It's gonna return an error of the vehicle type. So if the vehicle type inputted is the same as vehicle type enum dot, so if it's a car, we're going to return new car. And now we need to go to car class subclass. Remember, it inherits vehicle because vehicle is must inherit. We're going to create the constructor now. So we're going to this by-val, the constructor will be the exact same as this. Keep in mind, the exact same as this, but not this. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but I'll show you. So we're gonna be my base.new. Okay, so we're gonna be make model year. And since you see how in this kind of info box here down the bottom has vehicle type as vehicle type enum, we know this is just a car class. We can just enter it in, right? We don't need to create a constructor to have someone entering vehicle type for me because we already know it's a car class, right? So we're gonna have a public overridable, right, property called passenger capacity. Now just make this up on the day. It's probably gonna say in the object descriptions anyway. There's gonna be like pat capacity or something, maybe, I don't know. It can be like jet engine size or like blah blah blah. It can be any. We're gonna have our get, and then we have to return. Now return type specific info. Why? Because we're actually gonna create something new right now. These getters and setters. Now I'm just gonna copy this get and setters because I don't have time. But on the day, just make sure to create one for every single private field inside the parent class, right? Let's make model year. and then create one for types of specific info as well, but make it right like that, so you can get and set it. Now, not every single private field will have an overridable kind of accessibility, I guess, or whatever, overridable property, right? So for example, vehicle type, you're not going to change that once it is entered, because a car cannot be turned into a truck, just like male cannot be turned into female. Just make that read only, right? Make it read only, and you cannot set, by the way. So if you set, it's going to have an error here because it's read only. So we're going to return that equals value. Great. Now we're going to have this as blah 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 blah. Nice, we're done. Now in our parent class, the super class, we're going to return. So now you see this kind of little info box here, so it's just as a guide. So make, now it's up to model, it's gonna bold the current one, so you just enter this thing and transmission, and keep in mind this is just going to be type specific info like that. Great. Do that for 2 more classes and you're done. I'm not gonna do it because I don't have time.